What's up everyone, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, and I've got an unboxing for you of the brand new HTC Droid Incredible for Verizon Wireless. It's not every day we get to take a first look at a flagship smartphone, so I'm really looking forward to this. Let's go ahead and dig in. Use the obligatory big ol' knife here to hack through this. I should mention that pre-orders are available for this phone right now. It'll be shipping out on April 29th. For $199 after rebates and on a 2-year contract. So very small box. We got some PR information in there. We'll push it off to the side. Here is the HTC Droid Incredible, or HTC Incredible as it says on the front. Let's go over some of the specs on this device just sort of very quickly. It is running Android 2.1 with HTC's own skin on top of it called Sense. It's got an 8 megapixel camera with autofocus and dual LED flash, which is pretty impressive. It can capture video at WVGA, which means 800 by 480. It has a 3.7-inch OLED full-color capacitive display, which has a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels, and of course has a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor in it. And this browser is multi-touch and can support flash. So enough about the geekiness. Let's go ahead and dig into the phone and check out what we got. Droid Incredible. So there is the Incredible sitting right on top. Looks like this one has been reviewed before. Push it off to the side. Keep digging in. You get your tips and shortcuts. No CDs, just some booklets and information. Keep peeling back. Got a new looking HTC wall to USB charger and USB to micro USB cable. And that is about the extent of it. Nothing terribly exciting in there. Alright, so now that we took a look at all the accessories, let's take a look at the main attraction, the Droid Incredible itself. It is a slate device, meaning it's what you see is what you get. No slide out QWERTY keyboard. All of your controls are done on screen. So the 3.7-inch touchscreen really highlights the phone. Missing down below here is the trackball that we've seen on some previous HTC-built Android devices. It's going to be placed now with an optical trackpad, which works very much the same way. You can roll any direction you want, and you can push in for menu selection. You've got 4 capacitive buttons along the bottom here. You've got a home button, a menu button, a back button, and a search button. The Nexus One has the same sort of capacitive button array, but they weren't the most responsive, so I'm curious if HTC actually fixed it or made it a bit more responsive for this. On the left side of the phone, you've got a volume rocker up and down on your charging port. On the right side, you've got a big whopping nothing. On the bottom, you've got your microphone port, and the top 3.5mm headset jack, and your power and lock. If you're looking around for a camera button, you're actually not going to have one. The camera controls must be on screen. And of course, we are talking about the 8 megapixel sensor on the back with dual LED flash. Supposedly this is going to be very good for low light situations. The camera is autofocus as well. Let's go ahead and pry off the back and take a look at it. And before we do that, you might notice these weird designs here. At first I thought that was going to add some heft and bulk to the phone, but actually it really does not. I spoke to the folks at HTC and they claim that that was race car inspired, supposed to look and remind you of a race car. I don't know, it's going to be sort of probably a love or hate thing. Certainly not a deal breaker. But that race car inspired theme extends actually to the inside of the phone as well. It's completely red, and all you have is a 1300 milliamp hour battery. So go ahead and pop that back in. When you pull off the back, you also get access to the micro SD card slot, which will go up to 32 gigs. Go ahead and push this back on. So, like I mentioned, these ridges don't really add any extra weight or size or heft. But why take my word for it? Let me show you and do a quick size comparison with a few other devices you may be familiar with. So here we have its distant cousin, the Nexus One. They share a lot of the same internals. You can see that, at least right off the bat, they don't look very different. If we stack them on top of each other, very similar footprint. And if we do a side to side, almost no difference in thickness. If we take the Incredible next to an iPhone 3GS, and I apologize for the busted upness of mine, the screen protector's coming off down there. Stack them on top of each other. The iPhone is a little bit bigger. You can probably see it better that way. A little bit of sliver of room on the side. And a thickness test, the iPhone is definitely the thickest. And if we make a little Droid Incredible sandwich here, you can see the thickness of all the devices. So let's try and power it on and see if it has a charge. Sometimes these come completely dead. Hopefully we'll be able to get something out of it. Go ahead and kick it on, and so it does have enough juice. HTC Incredible, which is strange because Verizon is actually calling it the Droid Incredible. So I think the official name is the HTC Droid Incredible. I assume that we'll see probably the Verizon logo next. What I do want to see very quickly before I sort of end this video is see if this supports Flash. Some of the other HTC devices like the Desire have come supporting Flash right out of the box. This one, there's been some mixed reports, so I want to try and put that to bed as to whether or not it does. The browser is certainly multi-touch though. So to go over some of the specs, it does have Wi-Fi 802.11n B and G. It's got the GPS, of course. It weighs 4.6 ounces. Connect to your charger. Looks like it's almost dead. Go ahead and slide it down so you can get just enough charge to get on the internet. Alright, so let's see if we can go to, we'll go to flash.com. And we'll see if we do indeed have Flash support on the Incredible. Looks like it's thinking about loading it. That's where the Flash content is. Looks like it's getting ready to play something, so we may be able to confirm that we do in fact have Flash on here. Let's see what it's doing. And it's playing. So there we go, something to, I'm going to put this thing back on the charger before it dies on me. But this does support Flash, so if you were wondering or looking for a device that does support Flash, the HTC Droid Incredible is going to definitely be for you. It's sitting on top of Android 2.1 with the newest version of HTC Sense. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel for a ton of more incredible videos. We're going to put it head-to-head against the Nexus 1. We're going to put it head-to-head against the iPhone 3GS. And we're going to see how it stacks up on its own two legs. This one is running on T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T, so it should be a very interesting comparison comparing network speeds and reliability. And also be doing a ton more videos on the Incredible showing some of the features and specs. Anyway guys, I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.